sidelines. He will score. Fullback, and he's got the seam into the secondary, and look at 3 Wonders bringing down at midfield. Snap is good. Spot. The kick is on its way. It's long enough, and it is good. Channel 12 Sports presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight from Memorial Stadium on the campus of A.L. Brown High School. It's the Wonders from A.L. Brown hosting the Spiders from Concord. Welcome everyone. Along with Woody Kane, I'm Randy Whitley in the 68th renewal of this big battle for the bell. And let's do it again. As is the case in the 90s, as you saw just a minute ago, it means a lot tonight.
It really does, and everybody's talking about all the emotion. I think everybody in Cabarrus County is here, but what we haven't talked a whole lot about this week is what's going to happen on the field. Of course, everybody knows about Nick Maddox, over 2,000 yards, over 100 touchdowns. He's broken the state record and all that, but I really think one of the big keys tonight is going to be Concord's experienced offensive line and Kannapolis's excellent secondary. Kannapolis has picked off 16 passes in the past 3 games. Watch that tonight, because Concord has become more of a passing team than we're accustomed to.
It all boils down to tackling and chasing and running, and who does it better and completes the least amount of mistakes. And those mutters, those guys in the trenches, don't get the credit.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. The Concord offensive line, very experienced, 4 starters back from last year's group. You've got to watch as well Jackson, the quarterback for Concord. He can run, he can throw. We saw him against Central Cabarrus do it all. Kannapolis, meanwhile, is not one-dimensional. Everybody talks about Nick Mattis, but hey, Hardin is having a great year on his own right. He's throwing touchdown passes to his brother. Jenkins is a leading receiver. They can do it all. Both these teams have a lot of weapons. It's going to be fun.
And special teams, both with excellent special teams this year.
Oh, they really are. Kannapolis can run the punt back or the kick back at any moment, and Concord has some speed burners back there catching kicks as well.
Well, this is the way it should be. We talk about the world's, or the Cabarrus County's largest sporting event other than the World 600, Woody. I guess this would be second in line, and it's magical. Every year, 1 week, and especially for 3 hours, it's like the whole Cabarrus County shuts down for this game. What more excitement could you ask for? Well, you're about to find out when our coverage continues in just a moment. Welcome back to an overflow of Memorial Stadium. Fans continue to file in as the big game just minutes away, and entering his 19th year as head coach, E.Z. Smith of the Concord Spiders had a chance to talk to Steve Gant earlier.
Thanks, Randy, with Coach E.Z. Smith, Concord Spiders. Coach, everything's been said, everything's been written. What else can be said?
Great night for high school football. I was telling our coaches on the way over here, you know, a lot of colleges will play and never play in front of this many people. Never have this much excitement. We're really excited about being here tonight. You know, the only team that beat us last year was A.L. Brown, and they deserve the state championship and number one seed. We feel like, you know, we've got a good football team, and we've got a long way to go in our football season, we hope.
Yeah. Well, see, win or lose tonight, you're still going to the playoffs. You're in the playoffs. Do you feel like you got anything to lose?
Well, I think what we've got to do is come out and be opportunistic, Steve, not turn the ball over, keep good field position, make sure that each time we get the ball, we drive it, we put either points on the board or use our field position ability to keep the ball out of their hands. They have a great offense. They put a lot of points on the board, and, you know, we're just going to have to come out here and play good defense, play good sound game.
Well, you do have to play a sound game. You line up 11 guys. They don't line up 11 guys, but you got to mention Nick Maddox. Will you put 2 men on Nick?
We'll probably have to put 11 on him. Nick's a great player, great young man, but they got 40 great kids. They're state champions. They didn't get that just by one player being a great player. They've got 5 offensive linemen, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers and a fullback that block well. Justin Harden's had a great year at quarterback. Last year we put all our eggs in the basket, and we tried to hold Nick and Tron and Ebar down. First game, and William Kraft beat us, you know, throwing the ball. Second game, Ebar ran a fullback track, and William threw the ball well. So, you know, they're very diverse. I mean, that's what makes us such a good team.
Coach, it's been a long season. You prepare for this game. I mean, it comes down to this game, it seems like every year. You're playing for the conference championship, you're playing for Cabarrus County bragging rights, and you're playing for the bell. What is the last thing you'll tell the kids before the kickoff?
Well, I'll just tell them go out and have a good time, be loose, have fun. Don't worry about being tight. I mean, you know, probably all the pressure's on them. It was on us last year. We were undefeated. They were 9-1. We were 10-0. We felt some of the pressure. We're hoping that'll work in our favor this year. We know what it is to lose. We don't want to lose. And we're real proud of our junior varsity football team last night for winning the Concord-Kannapolis game. And our kids looked at that and they thought, well, you know, Coach, if they can do it, maybe we can do it.
Well, Z, thanks for talking to us. And like you say, have a good time.
Thanks. I look forward to a great game. We appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you next week in the playoffs. And hope I get to see you after the game. Thank you very much.
Okay, Z, good luck. Okay, guys, back to you.
Easy Smith of Concord. His teams in the last, since 1994, ironically, 51-8. You'll take a 91% winning percentage all the time. Well, a guy who's won his share of these bell games in his 10th season is Bruce Harden, and his assistants, namely Jeremy Ryan, who was undefeated in interviews with Steve Gant, and this is what Jeremy had to say.
Thanks, Randy. We'll call the coach, Jeremy Ryan. I don't have to tell you, biggest game of the career, biggest game of the season.
Well, I feel excited about the opportunity tonight.
You know, Jeremy, do you feel like you guys have played anybody of Concord's caliber? Concord's got a good team.
Concord has a great team. What they have is guys who can block, they have guys who can tackle, they have guys who can run it, throw it, catch it. They're the total package.
Well, about this team, you know, we've seen your scores, 55-0, 75-0, 97-0. But like I say, Concord's a good team. They're not going to roll over and die. They can play you till the end zone quarter goes off and the game's over, but they'll be on the field.
Well, it's a rivalry, and it's the #1 rivalry in the state of North Carolina as far as I'm concerned. Anytime you get a rivalry like that, you're going to get supreme effort from both teams, and anything can happen.
Health-wise, how's the team?
We're feeling pretty good. I think we're ready to go.
What about last week's win? How can you motivate a bunch of guys after something like that? I mean, 97-0, they got to just come in like a days ago, walk through the practices and not really, a little bit cocky maybe.
It's Concord.
It's Concord, enough saying. Jimmy, thanks for talking to us. Good luck tonight, and we'll see you after a while.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Go Big Green, go gold and black and white. Well, we're getting ready to do it on the field as the starting lineups. The coin toss is next. Pageantry is over as we return to Memorial Stadium, and let's do battle on the field. Here are the co-captains in the coin toss.
Number 65, order. Captain Maddox, who will be speaking for Kannapolis. The rest of you gentlemen introduce yourselves and tell someone to introduce you. Number 20, gentlemen, this is Representative teams who will be tossing the coin tonight for us.
Here in 63, you all have a great game.
We are pleased to see that you have with us Congressman-elect. Now, before we toss the coin, I want to remind you, I know that as a condition of participation, you were required to sign a sportsmanship pledge. We expect you to honor that tonight and make sure that your teammates do so. Play the game with your pad, not with your mouth, okay? Everybody clear on that? All right, good sportsmanship all night long. Captain Porter, I want you to call the coin while it's in the air. Call it loud enough for everybody here to hear you, okay? Mr. Hayes. He's on his head. Yeah. It is at his head. See that? All right. You won the toss. You won the toss. Okay? All right. Which swing do you want to defend? The scoreboard. Y'all swing around that way. You guys come here. Okay? Concord has won the toss. They'll be receiving. Good luck to you. Have a good ball game. Okay?
Interesting, Woody. The Spiders are going to get control of this game. Their offense, as we talked about it on the pregame, trying to control things, and they're going to get a chance early as we look at their offensive line.
And that's what we talked about in the pregame. Very experienced. 4 of those guys are back as starters from last year's 5-man offensive line unit. Then we look at the quarterback, tailback, receivers. Jackson having an outstanding year. Harris doing well. Marcus Black, Kiki Farr, Toby Steele, and McClamrock. Actually, Lott will likely start for the Spiders tonight as he's back from that injury he had earlier in the season. And you see the A.L. Brown 5-man defensive front. Ribbons, Johnson, watch him tonight. Quincy Perdue had a huge game, the couple we've had with Kannapolis this season. Nick Gill, great year at linebacker. Paul Allen, what can you say? Those are some familiar names, guys having great seasons all the way around, and now it's time for both these teams to quit talking and start playing.
There you see number 10. That is Jamel Jackson, the 6-foot junior, back at the 5-yard line. You had a shot of the Wonders senior kicker, the 6'4" tight end punter. He does everything. 200-pound senior Danny Jenkins. And the 1998 battle for the bell is moments away. Kind of a short kick, going to be taken. Finally picked up at the 12-yard line. Running to the outside is Lawrence Harris, and the Wonder pursuit catches him inside the 10-yard line. Down on the coverage was Mark Norris for the Wonders, along with Nick Gill. On the coverage was Mark Norris for the Wonders, along with Nick Gill.
So the coaches talked about mistakes, and there was a minor one there. Concord should have had good field position with a short kick, but the muff on the return will back them way up to start their opening drive. And there you get a good look at number 17 for the Spiders, Toby Steele. He's been a threat. He's a big target, 6'6", 175 pounds, but Jackson lines him up with Josh Lott behind him.
Out of the I formation from the 8-yard line, it'll be the tailback. Lott hit Paul Allen, the first guy there, and a few other Wonders teaming up at about the 10-yard line, namely Quincy Perdue, and he'll be around the football tonight. The electricity when both these teams came onto the field moments ago was just stifling, wasn't it, Woody?
It's one of those where it makes those little bitty hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
That's the only place I've got hair anymore.
Well, I think it's going to take maybe a few plays for both these teams to get some of the adrenaline out of their systems. They're both about to pound each other to death on the sidelines over there before the game got going.
And the fans are already in a frenzy. 2nd and 7.
Fumble.
Lott loses the football. I think he did fall back on it at the 10-yard line. So now what you don't want to get into is 3rd and long, deep in your own territory, and now we watch the play again.
It just came out. He had it cleanly, it looked like, but he was looking for a hole, and the ball just came out before he could get to the line of scrimmage. Keep in mind, this is Josh Lott's first Bell game, the 5'9", 190-pound sophomore, so maybe a little early game jitters for him. He's going to put the Spiders in 3rd and long.
They'll have 3 wide receivers with a single setback for Jamel Jackson. At the 10-yard line. Play fake, Jackson straight drop, looking far sidelines and overthrows the receiver. And could have been a busted pattern there.
Well, Kiki Farr was in the middle of the field, and he's patting himself in the chest saying, I was open, but Jackson overthrew his man on the right side.
Now Drew Walters for the Spiders will have to punt it deep inside his own territory. And the guy who's been doing it, I don't know if Nick's going to get the football.
Well, I was about to say, Walters is going to be our first contestant in the Don't Kick the Nick game tonight.
At any rate, if he kicks it out of bounds, the Wonders should get very good field position.
He's standing on Concord's side of the field, Maddox is.
Walters at the goal line, kicks it away, far sidelines toward the Concord bench. Somebody with a good catch over there at about the 42-yard line. What a job the Wonder defense did. 3 and out. Now we'll look at that offensive line for Kannapolis.
Well, a lot of the same names, Perdue, Seyfried, Lambert, Tuttle, and Rates up front for the Wonders. In the backfield, Justin Harden having an absolutely outstanding year. Evar Johnson and Nick Maddox been together for quite some time. Blair Harden, Danny Jenkins, the leading receiver for Kannapolis, and Justin Chambers. Concord defense, Kablan, Lee, Miller, Porter, and Helms up front, a 5-man front, and we'll catch the secondary and linebackers a little bit later on.
Harden brings them up at the Concord 42-yard line. Johnson and Maddox in the backfield. Toss right side, Maddox has a hole, cuts it, fights a block, down the sidelines, cuts back in, still on his feet to the 22-yard line. An incredible 20-yard run.
Well, I think when we watch the replay and count, you'll see that he got hit 437 times on that play and kept going. He kept breaking loose and kept breaking loose. Concord looks like they've got it sealed up pretty well here and here. And then again, they get another shot at him, and Maddox will get about 3 or 4 more out of it.
He never gives up, does he? Unbelievable.
And boy, you really have to wrap him up. You're not going to arm tackle Maddox. He's added a lot of strength this year, and you really have to wrap him up solidly to put him down. He's out now, though.
19 yards officially on the carry as Maxwell is checked in, a tailback on first down from the 23. Here goes Evar Johnson lumbering up the middle of the fullback who's only carried it 15 times all year, and he appears to be shaken up on the play.
Looks like he got a good shot from Jamel Jackson. Watch number 10 right in the middle of your picture at the end of this, right here. Right in the gut. He's acting like he's grabbing at his leg area, maybe the upper thigh. He may have just gotten the wind knocked out of him and hope that's all it is.
We have a timeout on the field. 9:53 to go in the opening period. Randy Whitley along with Woody Kansas will return to Memorial Stadium, and the good news is Evar Johnson says, I don't need nobody.
They were going to help him off, and he says, no, I'm walking, man. Forget that. There you see the defensive line for Concord corrected. Mike Porter, Z. Smith, Thomas Moose, and McCarthy for the Spiders, and great to see Evar Johnson walk off the field. There's the linebacking crew and secondary for the Spiders as well, as Kannapolis has the ball at the 10.
They can still be close to getting a first down and not into the goal line. They've run 2 plays from scrimmage, 2 first downs as Allen is checked in at fullback for Johnson. Maddox is also back in, and he'll get the toss. Gets a block by Harden on the corner, cuts it in, jukes to the outside, stiff arms, he's in. Touchdown.
Amazing, Randy. They had him wrapped up. They did the right thing and got him to turn toward the middle where they wanted him to go, and he still found the end zone. Watch this. You'll watch one of the Concord players fight off the block here and turn Maddox back in. That's what you want, but they missed him, and he was able to dance his way into the end zone.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
I'm telling you.
He's having fun.
Looked like over there was, Randy, was Evans for the Spiders who turned him inside, but the rest of his teammates, as many had failed to do, couldn't bring Maddox down.
This guy scored some points this year. John Garvin, the extra point category, out of the hold of Harden. It's up through the heart. The Wonders break out on top 7-0 with 9:27 to go in the first period. Return to Memorial Stadium. Jim Weber, statistician, says that is 11 straight times that Kannapolis has scored on their first possession.
Well, Coach Arden feels like it's real important to get on top first and get the opponent back on their heels a little bit. Concord had a problem with that kickoff last time and started deep in their own territory.
Jenkins kicks it not particularly deep, but high. Going to be taken at about the 12-yard line. This is far, and he slips as he tried to make his cut. But I think a green shirt came by, Nick Gill, and he had blue flames on him. He just went blur right by you. Spiders will start. There's the situation. Very quick.
3 plays, 43 yards, the 10-yard touchdown by Maddox, but the long run on the first play from the scrimmage really set the tone for the Wonders, and as soon as he touched the ball, the whole Kannapolis sideline just started getting louder and louder, and that buzz grew into a roar.
At the 14-yard line is where Jackson and the Spiders will start their second possession of this game, and it will be Lott looking for some room. Nothing there. Penetration by number 90, Desmond Williams. Also looks like Marcus Rybens in on the tackle for Kannapolis.
Quincy Perdue was there. About 4 green shirts were involved in that, and Concord is going to have to find a way to get a little push off that offensive line if they're going to be effective in the running game. As we mentioned, they've become more of a passing team this year than we're used to seeing from them, and that is going to be a big key tonight. They're going to have to get those receivers loose and allow them to get some one-on-one opportunities.
So the key is you got to get some decent field position to maybe, well, they're going to throw it here. Jackson, sidelines, complete near the 20-yard line across the fairway, and making the catch Marcus Black for the Spiders. That'll get them a little bit of more room, and now it'll set up 3rd down. They need the 25-yard line.
It's going to be about 3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 4.5 or so, but nice little short pattern, and I think that's going to be the key. Kannapolis has some excellent speed in the secondary. As we mentioned, 16 interceptions in the past 3 games. It's going to be tough to throw one up there and just let your receivers run under it. The Kannapolis secondary too fast. I think Concord will be able to make some hay throwing underneath and letting those guys run after the catch.
3rd down and 5, 3 wideouts for Jackson. Looks short side, complete, 1st down. Kiki Farr did the smart thing after he caught it. He knew where the marker was and got the 1st down.
Well, he didn't try to turn and run upfield, as you say. He knew right where the marker was. Watch him just fall backwards because he knows where he has to get and get the 1st down. That's a smart play by a senior captain for his team.
A positive sign for the Concord offense as they're out to their own 27-yard line, and now you can kind of get back to your normal offense. Look at these guys behind Coach Smith over there. I think the coldest night of the year, and they're shirtless.
Oh, boy. Somebody's parents are going to be watching that saying, what were you doing out there?
Check the intensive care unit this weekend.
Yeah.
Out of the eye, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Wonders with penetration in the backfield. Look to me, Rashad Robinson there first on Josh Lott. There they are.
Look at that now.
Those Spiders.
Hey, there's a girl in there.
Well, she's
semi-topless.
Well, that's great.
Oh, I'm telling you now, they get into football around here, don't they?
I'll tell you what, we've seen more shirts and skins this year than ever.
Yeah. Boy, now, that would be a story if she had gone to the skin route.
She probably wouldn't have been there very long.
Yeah, she would have been grounded for sure. So far, Lott, 4 carries, 2 yards, and Concord has to begin to win the war up front if they're going to get that running game going.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson to the air. He's got Steele, and he'll be tackled out of bounds at about the 40-41-yard line. The pass on the money, timing play. Jackson starting to warm up, perhaps.
Watch him throw a strike. They use the receiver in the slot to run the coverage off. Steele stops and gets a nice little completion and makes a few extra yards after the catch. As we mentioned, Toby is a big target, 6'6". So he's one of those guys you can throw it up high and where he's the only one who's going to have a chance to get it.
His 18th catch on the year, by the way. And best field position of the night for the Spiders at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, Spiders move.
Yep. That'll cost them 5.
A little bit of pushing and shoving going on down there.
Concord a little bit more disappointed in themselves there. Looked like the right side and could have been Mike Porter, who, I'm not going to argue with Mike. If that's the only thing he does wrong tonight, don't worry about it. 6'4", 240 pounds, a senior, and has been to the wars a lot.
No question about it. Looked like it was more than just him that flinched on the line, though. That's going to be our first 5 for flinching call tonight. Jackson so far, Randy, 3 out of 4, 27 yards, so he's got the hot hand early.
hitting 52% of his passes this year, 16 touchdowns thrown against only 9 picks and 1,370 yards. So he knows how to airmail it. 1st and 15. Jackson pumps once, now goes far sidelines and backpedaling and unable to haul it in as Kiki Pari drew coverage that time from Duran Lipscomb.
Just a little bit longer than he would have liked. Tried to backpedal and get underneath it, but it was a little too high and he couldn't reel it in. So Concord, I guess the good news is after that penalty, they got 1st down over again. So instead of 3rd and long, it's 2nd and long.
And the clock shows 5:59 in the first period. What has been a quick first period so far. Doesn't seem like they've been battling for 6 minutes, but out of the eye. Jackson again with good protection. Now will be forced out. He can't get out of the pocket. Getting from behind is Kajan Kirkpatrick. And then a Steve Green catches up.
And again, Randy, you give credit to the Kannapolis secondary on that one because Jackson had enough time to deliver the ball. He simply can't find an opening downfield. This is sufficient time for him to deliver the ball, but really breaking through there and making a great play is Kirkpatrick.
Well, he just pushed everybody out of the way that time. And
sure did.
They were fighting. You look at those interior linemen, they're doing some battling down there right now.
That was like a bowling ball knocking down the pins in the PBA.
Trips to the big side of the field on 3rd and 17. Jackson puts it on his hip. Now we'll go over the middle. He's got a receiver. 1st down, Concord. This is Toby Steele behind the secondary. They'll catch him at the Wonder 20-yard line. It was Nick Gill along with Nick Maddox finally running him down, but they forgot about Toby Steele.
And how can you forget about a guy who's 6'6", wide open in the middle of the field? They used the 2 guys far side to run the coverage off. Steele found some room in the middle, and watch them try to strip him as they come down. That's Maddox trying to pull the ball loose, but Toby had it wrapped up well, and now Concord is in business at the 20, or as some people say, fitness.
Threatening. They're in the red zone. Here come the Spiders. Back to the I formation. Let's see if they keep it on the ground. Jackson has been on fire here in this drive through the air. Well, he'll go to the fullback, and he's looking for some room off the left side. Calvin Reed, who is an outstanding 4-year starter at linebacker, gives him some much added experience in that backfield.
And that little quick hitter with the fullback doesn't give the defensive line an opportunity to set and get to the point of attack. It happens quickly so that the Spiders are able to make some positive yardage out of it. They've been struggling to get Lott loose because he's back in the backfield as far as he is. The Kannapolis defensive line, not very big, but very quick. When they see a hole, they can get to it in a big hurry.
Reed got 5 on that play from the 15-yard line. Again, the fullback, and it'll be near a 1st down. Boy, that was a major big-time collision, especially Jacob Blond leading things for Calvin Reed. And
that was as excited. It almost looked like there might have been a face mask in there. A couple of guys pulling on each other. Let's see if we can look at the end of this here. Yeah, we pulled him down by the helmet, but he didn't grab the face mask, so I guess that's all right.
1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line for the Spiders.
I believe this is the 11th play of the drive so far, and that's exactly what Concord wants to do. When you you complete a drive like that, you keep number 20 from getting the ball.
Out of the eye with 2 to the big side of the field, split out. Play fake, Jackson, got to keep it, hemmed in, stopped. Paul Allen turned in the pursuit. There's a flag, perhaps face mask on the call, and that will hurt the Wonders.
And a couple of great moves by Jackson. Even though he was bottled up, he did a couple of nice moves to make something out of nothing there. And a face mask is the call. Randy nailed it squarely, but Jackson, watch him here with some moves. Paul Allen has him dead to rights. Move, move, move. He gets by him, but just too many green jerseys around. Looks like maybe it was 90.
Desmond Williams was over there.
Okay, Desmond Williams with the infraction.
That'll be half the distance. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. And Jackson is saying, I got a problem here. He picked this darn thing out of shape here. This is not legal equipment right now.
Well, the officials, if that's the case, will give him time to get it straightened out, since that's, an unsafe condition. The flag is still down on the field. I hope the official remembers to go over there and pick it up before we start again. There he goes.
It'll be a continuous flag here.
Yeah.
The clock shows 3:23 to go here in the opening period.
Looks like they're going to have to come on the field and see if they can fix Jackson's helmet. He's putting it back on now, and the trainers had run out there, got about halfway, and then they had to turn around and run all the way back.
That is definitely some battle gear, battle armor they're putting on tonight. The big play in this drive, keep in mind, 3rd and 17 completion to Steele, and then the big pass play that got him a little bit further down into the red zone. Right now, 1st and goal at the 5. It'll be Lott. Slithered off of one would-be tackler. Desmond Williams finally tackled him at about the line of scrimmage.
But Nick Gill, the player who broke that one up, Randy, number 82, one of the captains for this Wonder defensive unit, broke through and was able to slow Lott down before he could get to the point of attack, and then teammates swarmed all over him.
Kannapolis has given up no points at home during the regular season.
One of the big keys, I think, for Concord is going to be what they tried to do a couple of plays ago, is get Jackson to use his athletic ability running the ball. We saw him try to do it a second ago. They may go to that again before this drive is over.
On 2nd down, the toss sweep. This time it will be number 19, Harris, looking.
Oh!
He is just decked.
That was Gill. My goodness, that was a train wreck.
That was a kamikaze pilot coming in there, wasn't he? What a vicious hit.
Watch this.
Looked like
He's got
he was
some
in the
good
inside.
blocking up front, and pow! Wow, I'm telling you now, that
Has there ever been thing?
I gotta run to the dentist and see if my fillings are still in my head. I mean, man, that'll rattle you.
Stopped cold was an understatement.
I think the glass up here in the press box cracked on that one.
It'll be 3rd down and goal at the 2.
Almost an 8-minute drive so far for the Spiders.
1:45 showing on the clock and running as the fans on both sides come to their feet. Jackson under center. And it will be Jackson stop, and he'll be short of the goal line. No signal yet. There's the touchdown. Just complicated, folks. It's about as,
It's rocket science.
it's kind of like me trying to explain to you how to take a gallbladder out or something. I mean, I don't know.
Boy,
Of course,
if I ever have
Dale
gallbladder
Jarrett
trouble, I'm not coming to you. You can count on that. You're the last guy I'm thinking of if I have gallbladder problems.
1st and 10 of the 43. Jackson will keep it. And he's got some room. He hits Paul Allen, and Paul Allen goes back, and Jackson goes down, and
There were bodies flying everywhere on that play.
And you know the fun part? We got another half to go.
I'm telling you, look at here. Porter collided up there, and then watch Allen Jackson just lowers his shoulder and goes backwards. Robinson and Porter, it looked like, collided up there, and both of them went flying in opposite directions after they hit. About a minute to go now.
2nd down at 7. Trips to the bottom of your screen, and Jackson will play fake, sending everybody out. Pass complete at the Wonder 27-yard line. It was Mr. Steele coming back, and he's got those good hands tonight, and the Spiders going without a huddle.
Sure does, and it was pretty good coverage downfield by the Wonders. He just fights through it and makes the catch. I mean, it's hard to wrap a guy up better than Rayvar Harris had him there, but Toby Steele just fought through it and came back to the ball, as you mentioned. There you see the time.
Concord not panicking, taking their time as they have it 1st down and 10, 27-yard line. Lott will carry it this time. He gets a good block and a good hole. Allen catches it from behind. The Wonders will scoop up the fumble, but they say the ball was down.
Well, let's take a look.
And he was pretty emphatic about that.
Yeah, the official did make the call immediately. There wasn't any hesitation, and he was right on top of it. Easy Smith takes a timeout. I think they've got one left. Now let's take a look again. See where he goes down. His knee touches when the ball comes out. Yeah, he was down. His knee wasn't down, but his rear end was on the ground.
Had it not been down, Rayvar Harris would have had a touchdown because there was nobody home. He just scooped it up when it went off to the races here as the Spiders call another timeout with 33 seconds to go. Actually, the fumble helped them. They gained a couple of yards extra down to the Wonder 22 as Coach Harden wasn't lying. He said it's going to be a headbanger.
You are now, at the 22-yard line, so from here it would be a 39-yard field goal attempt. I don't know what kind of range Drew Walters has, but, even if that's what Easy Smith is thinking, he'd like to get a little closer to give his kicker a better shot at it if that's what he's thinking. Of course, he'd like most of all to get in the end zone, but
About one more first down, and they will have a shot. Boy, ain't that a beautiful moon coming up over the open end of this Horseshoe Stadium.
I don't know what they're discussing here. Look at that.
Man, that just adds to the color and pageantry.
Yeah, well, they ordered it up special for this game.
And essentially, it rises over the treetops just when the action, is down on that end of the field, right on cue. Couldn't get the Jets to fly over tonight, so we got the moon. 33 ticks to go. It is 2nd and 5. Shot of the gun for Jackson. Pumps and a little short. Kiki Farr, I think, fell down.
Yeah, he did.
And a little double pump there by Jamel, so it'll stop the clock with 29 seconds left and bring up 3rd down. The only bad news of the night has been the injury to Emar Johnson, the senior. Obviously heartbroken that, he was, and the Wonders will miss him in the backfield is what he said. More importantly, they miss him. He's a pretty good linebacker on defense, so
yeah,
that's the first casualty of this game.
I believe Concord still has one timeout, so they can go toward the middle of the field if they'd like to.
3rd and 5. Jackson looking, he's got Farr complete, and they'll have a first down inside the Wonder 15-yard line. It looked like Lipscomb, along with Robinson, teaming up on the catch. The clock stops as they move the chains with 23 seconds to go.
Spiders hurry to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they got to move over because the officials got to spot it at the hash mark. It's okay. Everybody left. Clock runs, and there's the spike to stop it with 20 seconds to go.
Smart play by the Spiders, and they had talked about it. They want to be able to save that timeout. Now they have, with 20 seconds left, an opportunity to take a shot or two or maybe even 3 at the end zone, and they're in field goal range here, certainly. But if they have to go toward the middle of the field, they can still stop the clock one more time. So, smart play, and I know the coaches went over all that with them before they came back to this series.
But you're still dealing with 16 and 17-year-old amateur football players.
Hey, well, still, give them credit where credit is due. That particular segment of the game was handled very well.
And a very important 20 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Remember how important it was last year when Kannapolis punched one in right before halftime.
On 2nd down, toss outside and out of bounds to stop the clock. Farr with another clutch catch. He is their go-to guy, their big go-to guy. I mean, he's got that fly paper all over those hands, and you won't see him miss one that's near him.
Now watch this. The same pattern they used a moment ago, and Kiki does a smart thing, picks up as much as he can, and then uses the rest of his energy to make sure he gets out of bounds.
And he got it down to the 9-yard line. It only took 5 seconds. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Nice bit of clock management going on right here by Concord.
Let's see. Do you go for it? Go for the end zone this time? Or do you go to Lott? Surprise him in the backfield. No. To the air is Jackson looking end zone. Now he's going to take off inside the 5, and the Wonders will stop him at the 5-yard line. The clock running, and timeout is called with 6 seconds to go. So decision time for Concord, and Easy Smith's going to come off. He's going to burn that last time out. Field goal, touchdown. We'll find out in just a moment. As we return to Memorial Stadium, you see some of the participants at halftime. Don't go away for that. It'll be a great show. Right now, the show is on the field. 22 seconds to go. Or, 22-yard field goal by Drew Walters. Try to put the Spiders on top from the right hash mark. Good snap spot. The kick is up. Partially blocked. It just got in the left side of the upright. And Concord has taken the lead 10-7. Brian Kraft tipped it for the Wonders, but it still got through. 2 seconds to go in the first half. Halftime performance by both bands. As you see the Wonder cheerleaders here as we get ready for the second half, and they are number 1 until somebody beats them. Right now Concord won the first half, but that's not the half that counts.
Exactly, and you see the numbers there indicative of Concord able to play ball control, but they played it with a short passing game. You see that there, 107-13 in the passing game. That is the key stat that jumps off the page at you. Penalties not much to speak of. A.L. Brown, though, only 1 out of 4 passing so far. Another key number, Concord had the ball about 16 minutes in that first half. Kannapolis had it only 7. 37 offensive plays for Concord, 20 for A.L. Brown, and that is the way to play ball control. Keep it. You keep it away from Nick Maddox, he can't beat you.
Exactly. Unless you throw interception when he's playing defense. And we're about ready to get the second half underway as the fans who did foul out of their seats are trying to find them again, and probably won't. Ready to get the second half underway as the fans who did foul out of their seats are trying to find them again, and probably won't.
Yeah, you move, you lose.
Walters kicks it off and squibs it. And this one will be returned by Robinson from the 20-yard line. Robinson sidesteps a couple of guys trying to get to the outside, still on his feet, and they finally level him at about the 42-yard line. On the coverage looked to be Josh Sumlin. So the Wonders with decent field position to start the second half.
And we'll find out what kind of adjustments they made. Look at it again, little squib kick, but he's got all kinds of room, good blocking upfield here, and just kind of squirms his way through and gets out across the 40-yard line before they're able to wrestle him down. Key thing we need to mention here, Randy, the report on Evar Johnson is not good. They believe the injury a little more serious than it looked like when he walked off. They've taken him to the hospital, and we don't know the extent of that, but that is a tremendous loss to Kannapolis.
So Johnson will not be back, and they toss it behind the block of Allen. Here's Nick Maddox to the outside, spun down at the 39-yard line, and the quickness of Jackson able to come up to find Mr. Maddox.
And you saw Maddox that time, Randy, really attack. He didn't wait for anything to develop or look around and pick his way. He went straight at the hole. Allen with the block, and all he's got to do is just shield the guy off long enough for Maddox to get by, and that's what you saw there.
Wonders pick up 6 on that play. It's 2nd and 4, just underway here in the second half from the 49-yard line. 3 wideouts this time for Harden. He'll send Blair in motion. And a long count to Maddox. Straight up the gut for a couple. Down to the Spider 48-yard line. Looked like Easy Smith there to trip him up initially, and the rest of the Spiders led by Stephen Goose in that interior line, 51. There to finish him off, but I've never seen a back that brings so much excitement to a crowd. Every time 20 touches the ball, it's like,
the crowd just builds and builds and builds. It's amazing just to listen when you see him get the ball to what goes on out there.
3rd down and 1.
Starting to be a little more pushing and shoving as this game goes on, Randy. After the whistles blow,
we'll call it 3rd and 2. There you see the line to make. Toss, big side of the field. Here's Maddox. And the Spiders will stop him at midfield. They contain to the outside, namely number 20, Demetrius Evans.
And he just shot the gap, Randy, and was able to wrap Nick Maddox up short of the first down. About 3 Concord guys are going to hit this gap. 2 of them get picked off by great blocks, but not Evans.
And now Danny Jenkins comes in for the Wonders to punt it away with 9:58 to go. The clock running here in the 3rd period. The Spiders do not have anybody back deep. They're showing about 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. And we'll peel back for no return, actually. Let's see where it stops. It takes a great Wonder roll and textbook at the 1-yard line. You couldn't have went out and placed it any better than that.
That's exactly right. Outstanding kick by Danny Jenkins. And Concord will start their first drive of the second half in bad field position.
Look at this punt.
And it just rolls beautifully. Great coverage down there to get to it, because that could easily have taken the wrong hop and squirted into the end zone, but you see 4 green jerseys around it.
What Easy Smith now wants his offense to do is go 99 yards and take about 8 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
There you see Mr. Smith. Intensity is a good word we can use in this game, and it is here. tonight on both sides. From the I-back position, it is Lott hemmed in and stopped at the 3. Up quickly was Rashad Robinson, who really did not become a starter last year for these Wonders until the playoff run they made to the state championship.
And he had a huge state championship game as well. You might see Jackson keep one here, Randy. We saw him execute that very well in the first half. A couple of times looked like they had him wrapped up and he was able to fight for some extra yardage. You might see that here. It's real risky to throw that little short pass out in the flat, because if you're off a little bit and it's intercepted, there's nobody to keep the defensive back from strolling into the end zone.
The play clock shows 5 seconds to go. They do get the snap off. Here's Jackson down the line of scrimmage, stopped, and rolled out across the 5-yard line, literally. Looked like number 60, Purdue, over there, along with Nick Gill. Just named about 6 of them there. Actually, they got a good spot out to the 7. And 4 coming up.
Another thing to think of too, Randy, is it's got to be noisy down here, because that's the side of the field where all the fans are lined up around that bank. Of course, once you get back there, it's a mix from both teams, but it's got to be noisy down on that end of the field.
And the militarized
Look at that
down there. Yep, that's the ground level seats almost. 3rd and 4 from the 7. Jackson going to go to the air. Good time over the middle, picked up. Coming back the other way is Raybar Harris. He's inside the 10 and will go down at about the 7. Our first turnover of the game, Woody Kane, and Raybar Harris just played the quarterback that time.
Well, we mentioned in the early part of the game and in the open, Randy, you cannot hang the ball up against this Kannapolis secondary. They are too fast and they can run under it and really make you pay, and you saw evidence of it right there. You got to be sharp on your passes against this secondary. If anything stays in the air for any length of time, they're going to really hurt you.
Perhaps if they had it to do over again, they wouldn't maybe have tried to be, I hate to use the word greedy, but you need 4 yards, and they were going for the big one. Had it been complete,
well, he was open.
a big one.
He was open, but the ball just stayed in the air too long.
It's 1st and goal, Kannapolis at the 8-yard line. They give to Maddox around the left side. Stiff arms. Whoa! And what a tackle. 51 coming through. Steve Moose is rising to the occasion. He's playing like a big old moose out there tonight. He's a senior.
That's the kind of play Maddox normally escapes from, but Moose just knotted some fingers in that jersey and about pulled Maddox out of it.
He fought off the block of Quincy Purdue and would not be denied. A loss to the 10. 7.5 minutes to go in the 3rd period.
Paul Allen coming out now.
And they will split the backs this time. It looks like Maxwell is checked into the backfield for Kannapolis. Justin Harden sets him down. And the toss sweep to Maddox around the right side, looking for a block. He'll be down to about the 5-yard line, following the block of Purdue that time, but he could only block one guy. There were 3 guys over there, and Calvin Reed playing a heck of a game tonight on both sides of the ball. Watch number 8.
Sure is. Now right here, it looks like they've got him sealed up pretty good where he can, the blocking I mean, so he can turn the corner and make something happen, but you and I were talking before the game, it's going to be awful hard to run around either one of these defenses. They've both got great speed. You're going to have to hit the hole quickly. It's going to be tough to outrun them. 16 carries, 85 yards for Nick Maddox to this point.
3rd and goal of the 5. Hard. Play fake. Rolls big side. Looks, being chased. Will turn it down and run it into the end zone. Touchdown. Kannapolis. He kept pumping, Woody, and pumping, and finally ran out of real estate.
Well, we've seen him show his athletic ability before. We talked about Jackson, but Harden can run the ball as well. And that's a heady play by a guy who knows something about football. Hold the ball in the air like that and back the defense up, or even make him hesitate for a second, and it gives him just enough room to find the corner of the end zone.
And the Wonders have gained the momentum here.
Big extra point now.
They're back on top. This would be a 4-point lead here for John Garver, the senior. 6'2", soccer-style kicker. Good snap, and the kick is into the crowd. Timeout on the field with 6 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. 3rd period. Wonder kickoff is next. Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane and the Metro 12 production staff on hand. And we know you're not enjoying this game. It's not exciting at all. Not what it's lived up to be. Boy, what a nail biter.
We talked as well about mistakes and turnovers, and both the coaches did too. Kannapolis capitalizes on the Concord mistake, turns it into 7 points.
After a great punt by Danny Jenkins, who kicks it, and I spoke too soon. Danny kicks it out of bounds. And Concord will have it.
Flag goes down. There's some more of that pushing and shoving we talked about after the fact.
I think that's just kicking it out of bounds. They'll get penalized for illegal procedure. They'll get it at the 35-yard line. So, yeah, I spoke too soon on Danny.
Yeah, it looked like it just shanked off the side of his foot. 3 plays, 7 yards. Took him a minute 37. Harden ran it in, but the key play, the big interception in the middle of the field and the run back to around the 5-yard line. Actually, Concord made 2 tremendous plays on Nick Maddox and looked like they had themselves in pretty good position, but Harden shows you he can hurt you more than one way.
Both these teams more than one-dimensional. A lot with the football. Stopped. Look to me, John Kirkpatrick, the junior defensive lineman, number 77, got him by the ankles. Also, it was Purdue who is starting to heat up, I think, defensively. Lott now has 26 yards on 14 carries in this game.
So his average a little bit different than Nick Maddox's, but you know, late there in the first half, he started to have some big runs after Concord had opened things up with that passing game.
Spiders now will second up, will just over the 35-yard line. 2nd and 10, we'll call it, with a single set. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Play fake, Jackson, pressure, and he won't get away again. It's Kirkpatrick. John has come to play in the second half.
Sure has, and that play just broke down around the outside. Look at this, Jackson barely gets set, and he's got 2 green jerseys around him. He manages to fight his way just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Marcus Rivens actually slid off of Jackson. He had him from the backside. It's kind of like what we saw one of the Mount Pleasant Tigers do last week. He said, wait a minute.
Well, now we got an unsportsmanlike against Concord, and
that is a dead ball. Well, it's against both, so
they offset. And I think that's a warning message from the officials. We talked a little bit about the pushing and shoving going on and the jawing. The officials stepping in and saying, look, we're not going to stand for any of that. Right now they offset, but I think they're going to get a little more serious about making sure the game stays under control.
Well, how many times in your high school career do you play before this big a crowd? And we were talking at halftime, they're going to be a big crowd next week. There's the playoff round, and we will cover the number 1 seed in case you say, who are you guys doing next week? Whoever wins this game will be with them. And that has always been the tradition to follow the number 1 seed or the champion out of the SBC.
And we hope, keep in mind as well, to have both the coaches, since they're both going to the playoffs, on headliners Wednesday night.
This is probably the biggest crowd I have seen here at Memorial Stadium for this game, or maybe a Southwell Wayne Kannapolis game. And I've been coming here about 20 years.
Mammoth crowd.
It is a big play here for the Spiders. 3rd down and 8. Jackson to the air. It is picked off. Tremaine Robinson took it away from far, and he's got a block by Paul Allen, and he will score.
We talked about the Kannapolis secondary. 2 straight interceptions on Concord possessions lead the scores.
He played the ball off of far. A 50-yard interception return for the TD. We watch it again.
And he's got time to get under it. See how far that has to go across the field. He's got time to fight through the receiver and get to the ball, and he's off to the races here. A couple of good blocks down the field.
These thoroughbreds going at it. How many times have we seen Kannapolis do it in the second half? And right now, it's the offense controlled by Concord's defense. But the defense, as Woody said, has pretty much given the momentum back to the Wonders right now. Here's Garber. And he is perfect, 3 for 3 tonight. Timeout on the field, 5:15 to go in the 3rd period. It is now Kannapolis 21 and the Spiders of Concord 10. It's a shame this game.
Boy, the cramps are starting to come out all over the place, aren't they?
It's a shame we can't play like 7 or 8 quarters in this game. And, the interesting thing about the only casualties tonight, the folks that came to the game are going to see, is some of their cars probably won't be there when they get back. I understand the every Cabarrus County record has been brought to the stadium tonight. Illegal parking, folks.
Rary's still in the game at quarterback, so evidently Jackson's injury a little more serious.
On first down and 10, John Rary, the 5'9" junior, at the controls. Back to pass and draw play. Great fake that time. Lott got about 4 on the play. Boy, he sold me out.
Sure did, and you heard E.Z. Smith telling us earlier in the week that he's got a lot of confidence in Rary, and well-designed play there. Picks up about 5. Well, check that, maybe about 3.
Concord started this drive on their own 7-yard line. Right now, stay into the game plan. They got trips to the top of your screen right now, 1 to the bottom.
A little bit of motion there. It was Robinson, but did the Spiders drawing by moving? I don't think so.
I believe that'll cost the Wonders 5 yards as the referee comes in, converts.
5 for flinching.
Yep.
That's the signal. You look at any rule book, and 5 for flinching is in there.
I'll tell you what, you talk about the excitement, the fans, the coaches, the community. These officials have got to be excited to work this game.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is going to be like their Super Bowls.
No doubt. There you see E.Z. Smith and E.Z. Smith on the sidelines over there.
And our best wishes to Mrs. E.Z. Smith and to Audrey Lee Smith.
There you go.
And she's having a good time at NC State this year.
16 carries, 39 yards for Lott so far.
On 2nd and 2, big run up the middle.
First down.
A first down for Lott and an injured Wonder who made the tackle, Will.
Is it Gill?
He's
Getting up slowly, but I think he's all right.
I still think it's a little mountain goat in him. He's stunned momentarily because he hits you so hard. Look at that.
He does. He brings the load, doesn't he?
And
He's working his shoulder out there now, but I think he's going to be all right. He's staying in the game.
he's a gamer. Inside 11 minutes to go in the ball game. Concord can't get there. Well, they can get there with a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal. So mathematically, they only need 2 scores like that. Here's Rary pumping it up, and it's short. Tipped away by Robinson. You saw Tremaine licking his chops over there.
He sure did, and you see the advantage of Toby Steele back there being 6'6". He was able to jump up and play volleyball and spike that one away before Robinson could reel it in, because that one hung up there a long time from Rary.
Tremaine only 5'9", so it's like the little guard going up against the guy underneath. He got it rejected.
Well, the Wonders have lost Evar Johnson. The Spiders have lost their quarterback, Jamel Jackson. 2 key losses in this game so far, and you hate to see that going into the playoffs.
Oh, man, yeah, we just hope for the best.
Hope neither is real serious.
Rary on the little slant, complete to Steele, and he will have the first down out across the 47-yard line. This man has come to play tonight, too. 3 key catches tonight, and both instrumental in Concord scoring drives.
But watch him fight after the catch, just pounding guys to get that first down.
That's a lot of tree to take down. I want to tell you, you got to get a big old Husqvarna to get him down.
I'm telling you. And it took about, 4 or 5 Wonders to bring him down.
The Lumberjacks were working overtime that time. Nearing the 10-minute mark, it's first down and 10.
Fumble.
Ball is loose, and Rary,
He's got it.
as you say, he's the first guy that notices there's a fumble, and he's got the best chance of getting it back. So,
Well, that's something you always worry about with a quarterback coming in cold off the bench, is that exchange might be a little bit shaky for a beat or 2, but it's something they give them some snaps in practice to work on that, but it's just a little bit different, when you're
the last
thrust
quarterback,
into the biggest game of the year.
the last quarterback that was hurt in this game was, we were talking about it before, they got Sean Allen of Kannapolis got laid out at halftime, and
That led to what William Kraft was
William
thinking
Kraft
as quarterback.
draw play. It's worked well, and Lott on the ground. Paul Allen just reached up and says, I think this guy's got the ball.
Yeah.
A great defensive play. I mean,
A good fake, though. Watch this. It really fools a lot of people. He's up the field, he ran into his own man, and that gave Allen a chance to grab him, but it looks like he got right close to midfield. Still going to be 3rd and long for the Spiders here.
Allen fighting off the block of Justin Miller. And he's going both ways tonight, as is Calvin Reed, offensively and defensively. Third down.
Right before they broke that huddle, Kiki Farr came over, and I'm sure he told Rary, I'm going to be open.
Spiders need 10 desperately. Here's the pass, and it's going to be intercepted. And this is number 22, Marcus Rivens, down the sidelines. Cuts it in to the 25-yard line. The 3rd interception here in the second half by the Wonder secondary.
Well, we talked about that in the beginning. They had 16 picks in the last 3 games, 3 more here. The pass just underthrown, and he's got some room down the sidelines, and Rary wrestles him down.
Adjustments made at halftime. Perhaps that secondary did make those adjustments. There you see, and that's the difference in the game tonight.
It certainly is, without a doubt. And now you're going to see a heavy, heavy, heavy dose of Nick Maddox.
Well, the folks came to see Nick at night. They've got 8 minutes and 33 seconds. And Kannapolis has an unlimited refill supply at the local pharmacist, so a heavy dose indeed coming up. Maddox, what a move to the outside. And that'll cost you 15.
Yeah, and that is really not a smart play at all.
Yeah, let's hope all parties are okay.
There was a big, big hit.
Unfortunate.
Right at the sidelines, and then some continuation outside the field of play.
That might be the last nail for the Spiders there, as that will put the Wonders way down inside the 10-yard line. And one more touchdown here, that could do it here. They're up by 11. A late hit indeed. Personal foul against Concord. 1st and goal for the Wonders at the 6. We will look at the Concord sidelines, and the Wonders break the huddle. 1st down. Allen is the fullback, Maddox the tailback. It will be Maddox. Spiders guessing number 20, and they guessed right that time, namely Stephen Moose, who has just done yeoman's work tonight on the defensive line.
Well, time is the main enemy of the Spiders right now. They're getting down close to 8 minutes to go in the ball game. They stopped Maddox there, but with an 11-point lead, Kannapolis, more than anything else, wants the clock to keep rolling. And if it takes them another minute or 2 to get the ball in the end zone, that's all the better for them.
Of course, this kind of game doesn't get exciting until about 3 or 4 minutes to go. You know, traditionally. Here's Hart, he'll keep it. Inside the 5, touchdown, Kannapolis. Justin Harden with a 2nd rushing touchdown of the night, and both scores have come about 5-6 yards out.
They really have. You see him here, he's got the option to pitch to Maddox, but he sees the seam and keeps it himself.
If one don't beat you, the other will, and the Wonders are in control right now.
One of the Spiders is hurt, another cramp it looks like.
As cool a night and as in shape these guys are by the 11th game of the season, that just shows you how much adrenaline and energy these guys have put into this contest. And you don't usually see cramps this late in the season.
Well, it is definitely a real cool night on the field, and trying to stretch out the cramp right in the middle of the field, and we'll come back to show you the extra point.
Along with Woody Kane, Randy Whitley, delighted you joined us for our coverage this week of Kannapolis and Concord.
The injured player was Mike Porter, and he's walking off the field now under his own power, so hopefully that's good news.
Let's hope we don't get any more guys hurt on both these teams, because these guys have got the second season starting next week.
Yeah, they really do.
John Garver, who has been perfect tonight in the extra point department, out of the hold of Blair Harden. The kick is up and good. With 7:42 remaining in the 4th period, our score now 28-10, Wonders on top. Woody, as we come back, if this lead holds up for Kannapolis, it'll be first time in this series the home team's won since 1992. And
That's amazing.
That's hard to believe. It really is.
Concord with only 14 offensive plays here in the second half, and 3 of those have been interceptions.
Danny Jenkins, who has been a busy guy tonight, kicks it deep at the 4-yard line. Jackson, who has re-entered the game, gets actually tackled by his own man there out near the 30-yard line. So whatever they did, let's see if Jackson able to come back on.
He didn't look like he was running at full speed coming back up the field, but you know, he was over there pleading his case to the coaches, saying, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready.
And obviously, he will come back in on this series, getting into play for the Spiders sidelines. Still time.
7.5 minutes to go, but the Spiders are going to need 3 scores.
They need a quick one somewhere in between.
Another Concord player's hurt on the sidelines over there about where the run back ended. And looks like it might be another cramp. Don't forget, we'll start the playoffs next week. We'll follow the winner of this game through game 1. Try and alternate the coverage around to show you what's happening in the playoffs with our local teams. And on Headliners Wednesday night, we hope to have both coaches, A.L. Brown and Concord, on hand to talk about their playoff opponents.
And there's Plumbers Perch.
Yeah, and you know, they're already talking about playoffs.
Now down to the right of there, they've added something different behind. They've got the real fancy cave lit up over there. Maybe we'll, there you see it.
Look at that.
I mean,
That's
always improving.
Well, if you stand still, you get left behind, Randy.
That's right, progress. Hey, we're heading for a new millennium. I mean, yeah, that's it.
7.5 to go for the Spiders. They're going to need some big plays, and they're going to need several of them here if they're going to win this game.
They'll have trips to the bottom of your screen. One wide out to the top. Out of the shotgun this time. This will give Jackson, who, if his mobility is limited, a little bit more time. Now he'll have to run. And the Wonders will track him down. Paul Allen finishes his off. Nick Safert ran him right into the coverage there. Gave him a couple on the play.
And this is the time of game where Kannapolis knows that Concord's going to have to be throwing it, so those defensive linemen can pin their ears back and come straight up the field after the quarterback. Don't have to worry much about running. You can get burned with a draw here and there along the way, but primarily you know it's going to be a passing attack for the rest of the game for the Spiders. And look here, Rary's coming back into the game. Jackson tried to give it a go, but he's just slowed by the injury a little too much.
What a great effort tonight by Joel Jackson. Injured, sometimes you got to give it up, and let's hope he's going to be okay. Here's Rary cranking it up deep, but out of his own, and is it intercepted?
Yes,
another pick by the Wonder defense, the second of the night for that young man, Raybar Harris, who really turned the game around with his interception early in the third quarter.
And he throws it. Steele is back there, but so are 3 green shirts. Actually, maybe that was Kiki Farr, I think, back there instead of Steele.
So Kannapolis will just hope to run the ball on the ground and run this final 6.5 minutes off. 4 turnovers tonight. That one obviously didn't hurt as bad as those first 2 interceptions.
But it might just be the final nail in the coffin for the Spiders.
Kannapolis trying to complete their first undefeated regular season in quite some time as Harden goes down from behind. It was Black on the tackle. And obviously they'll keep the bell, and they will be the outright South Piedmont Conference champions.
And as we mentioned in the first half, what that would give them is the right to stay at home throughout the playoffs.
And that is a luxury that only coaches, you can only dream of.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame if you have to load up on a bus and ride a couple of hours to play somewhere.
Was it last year Kannapolis' first game was in Asheville or something?
Yeah.
I mean, they ran
way out there.
Of course, the final trip of the year, you don't mind making that 2-hour trip up the road to Chapel Hill. That's the whole ultimate goal. Next week when they start the extra season.
So Kannapolis right now primarily interested, as Randy mentioned, in keeping the clock going. They don't want to have any incomplete passes to stop things. They just want the clock to roll. Concord stopped them 2 straight times.
You while ago. What a great game plan. He came in, brought these Spiders, him and his coaching staff, and they were in control of this game, and they had momentum going to the locker room, and then the bullets started flying, and a couple of interceptions, and it turns on a couple of plays. Here's Harden to the air. Well, he dumps it out in the flat to Chambers, who will make the catch, and he'll spit out to about the 36-yard line, far short of the first down. Justin Chambers, who...
He had a big catch in the first half, but now a flag flies, a little jawing going on down there, and I think it's going to be on the Spiders.
Dead ball foul, and that will cost him big. We're talking about Chambers. He's the third leading receiver on this team, behind Jenkins. Actually, he's the second leading receiver.
And now they had him bottled up with 5 minutes to go, about to get the ball back. Instead, Kannapolis is going to get the first down and keep the clock running. 2 key penalties here in the fourth quarter, not to mention the 4 turnovers have really hurt the Concord chances. But Kannapolis showing you that, as we mentioned, they're not just Nick Maddox. We talked about that and talked about it. You had huge plays from Nick Gill on defense. You had a big play by Danny Jenkins with the catch. You had 4 key plays in the defensive secondary. And you had a couple of key runs by Harden, the quarterback.
And now you've got Durant Lipscomb in at fullback. Harden taking as much time as he can as the clock, huddle clock shows 9 seconds and counting. So they go with a little counter off the left side. Here's Maddox to the outside. Sidesteps one guy, runs out of the tackle the other, and a nice bit of sportsmanship that time as they held him. The would-be tackler just held him up, and a flag was down back at about the original line of scrimmage.
And that may be a hold.
Well, there was nobody over there where they dropped the flag.
Well,
So
it was just about 3 yards or 4 yards maybe past the line of scrimmage, and it is going to be against the Wonders. I believe it's going to be a hold.
Yeah.
Just as Maddox turned the corner, evidently, is where it happened.
Back all the way to the Kannapolis 43-yard line, but the Wonders are not worried about that as much as they're worried about the final 4:34 ticket off this clock.
Well, it does the thing they don't want to happen more than anything right about now, is it stops the clock. Not to mention the fact that it pushes them way back.
Jenkins and Hart go split to the bottom of your screen here on first down at 18. And Hart's going to go to the air. Looking, and he's got Jenkins wide open in the middle of the field. He gets a block and is bumped down at the 30-yard line. That young man, when he gets up a full head of steam, that's a load to bring down.
I think it was Calvin Reed that pushed him down, but there were all kinds of Concord players around him, but they weren't facing in the right direction. Danny had stopped and found that seam in the defense, as he's so adept at doing, and turned that into a big play. That was, what, 1st and 15.
And Reed bumped Jenkins actually another 6 yards on the tackle downfield. Maddox is out in the backfield now for the Wonders. On 1st and 10, here's Harden down the line. Just nowhere to go that time. Lowers the shoulder. And will be stopped for maybe a yard gain on the play. 7, that is Courtney Caldwell in on the tackle.
Again, Randy, we don't know the extent of the injuries to Jackson or Evar Johnson for Kannapolis, but boy, that would be just a shame if those guys are unable to go in the playoffs. You'd have to think that maybe Jackson's injury a little less severe, because we understand they took Johnson to the hospital to check him out.
And you hate to see any of the differences. Of course, Evar is a senior, and boy, you hate to see a career end that way. Give to Maddox, following the block of Purdue. Scoots forward down inside the 25-yard line here at the 23. That'll be a little shy of the first down.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go in this game, and you have to give a lot of credit to this Concord defense. They did an outstanding job of stopping this potent Kannapolis offense that rolled in here averaging about 50 points a game. But you also have to credit the Kannapolis defense that came up with 4 big turnovers.
Some of the coaches, a former coach here at El Run used to tell me a game hinges on 5 or 6 key plays, and we saw every one of them tonight. Just turned it around. Hard. To Hard. First down inside the 20.
That last carry put Maddox at over 130 yards, or at 130 yards on 22 carries.
And they effectively stopped him tonight, really.
And you don't think 130 yards sounds like they stopped anybody, but Maddox came in averaging, what, about 3,000 yards a game?
I think so. I mean, you know.
And 400 touchdowns or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean,
22 carries is a lot more than Nick has been running the ball this year. And, but those 22 carries were, every time. And he's an exciting young man. Exciting. It's fun to watch. I'm glad we have that opportunity. Give to Maxwell. And this guy's not too bad. Obviously, the heir apparent. Well, he's a senior, but Corey has come on this year and run nearly 500 yards. And that's overlooked.
Inside 2 minutes to go now.
As the Wonder sideline starting to celebrate as they sense the victory. This is the 10th play of the Wonder drive as they try to run the clock out here and go undefeated in 1998. 90 seconds left. It'll be Maxwell. Both flags down before the play really got underway. Steve Gann has gone field side. Now, Steve left about an hour ago, I understand.
He left at halftime to fight his way through the crowd and get there. Coming up on a minute to go in the game.
And it will be second down and 10.
After the penalty against the Wonders there. 5-yard garden variety penalty.
Yeah, one of those. The toss to Nick Maddox, who is in the backfield, and he's trying to get to the outside. He's inside the 10, run out of bounds at about the 6 or 7. And that will be close to a first down. The clock shows 54 seconds left.
Take a look at it again. Good blocking downfield. Maddox using that speed to turn the corner. And we mentioned now it's hard to run outside of these defenses, but Maddox is doing it because he's headed toward the middle first, drawing defenders towards him, and then popping it toward the outside. And plus, he's got great speed.
Yeah. I saw some of the Wonder crowd on that last shot. I'm not sure if those were stands or still the hill over there, but a timeout has been called with 54 seconds to go. And we will step away and be back for the conclusion of the Kannapolis Concord game in just a moment. I tell you one thing, Woody, Kannapolis and Concord going into the playoffs next week, the other opponents in the state better beware because we got two good reps, no question, in Cabarrus County.
Flag again.
I go with the reverse. Blair Hart says, darn it.
And I think the officials are saying that one was blown dead before. Illegal motion against the Wonder is going to be the call. And there might have been another flag in the end zone after the play was done. Another flag came flying out late. Let's see if there are two penalties or just the one. There's the other official. I think this is going to be a separate penalty. The other official is standing at about the 3, waiting by his flag for the head referee to come over and check that one out.
You see Justin Hart, the junior quarterback. He has scored 2 touchdowns tonight.
Well, you know, everybody has been talking about this game all year long, and a couple things have happened. Kannapolis's streak of not being scored on at home has ended. I don't think they've been behind, but maybe one other time this season.
And I think that was at the Sun Valley game. Clipping the call.
Both the penalties against Kannapolis. The clip is the one the Spiders are going to take, and that'll push them out beyond the 20.
But obviously a good test for both teams if you're looking to tune up for the playoffs. And that's the ultimate plum, I guess, you want to achieve. Obviously, winning the conference championship is a goal. Concord had hopes of coming in here tonight and escaping with a win. And there's the ball is loose. And he got it back.
It bounced right back to him. I don't think it ever hit the ground. It went up in the air and came right back down in his arms. I don't think it ever touched the ground.
Kind bounces tonight on both sides.
Coming out of there with it. There's Chad Lambert.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think it ever hits the ground. It goes straight up and straight back into somebody's arms.
Maybe a design play. You never know.
I doubt it. I don't think Bruce Harden's ever drawn one up like that. Time's ticking down now. I don't think the Wonders are going to snap the ball again.
As the green and white of A.L. Brown of Kannapolis with a standing ovation from a tremendous crowd here tonight, as they will go 11-0 in 1998, and they are your 1998 South Piedmont Conference champions, and we'll go into next week's action seeded not only number 1 out of this conference, but number 1 in the Western Regional playoffs, as Concord goes to the playoffs as well as the number 2 representative. We'll be back with some final comments in just a moment. (28-10), our final score. Kannapolis, the winner of the 1998 SPC Championship. And let's go field side right now with Steve Gant.
Thanks, guys, for winning. Coach Bruce Harding. Bruce, South Piedmont Conference champions.
Well, I'm really proud. That's kind of a school record for us, 11-0, and these guys really played their hearts out. I thought we played tough the first half, but we made some mistakes, hurt ourselves, got poor field position, but, 10 points is not going to do it, and our coaches did a good job. Nobody panicked, pointed a finger at halftime, and, that defense really came and played hard, and Danny Jenkins, he can punt the football, can he?
I tell you, he can kick it. Bruce, it's been a long, long time since you went in halftime down. You're down to 7. What did you tell the kids?
I told them if you expect to be on a level of a championship caliber team, you have to deal with situations. There's no team that gets to any championship level that you don't have to deal with playing teams that you have to come back. And it's just a sign of character, and you just have to face those things.
Concord come out in the first half, and I believe they were 7 out of 10 in pass, and they moved the ball pretty well on you in the air. You come out second half, I think you picked 4 times. What kind of adjustment did you make?
Just some things where we went to our nickel package and tried to really contain him, put a little pressure, and then what we had ball to do in the middle is just mirror him. And our secondary really just broke on the ball well. Just a good individual effort by the players.
I know Evar Johnson went down early in the game. I know you was concerned about that. I know you missed Evar Johnson. Have you heard? What's the word?
Well, I talked to Ms. Shope, and she said the knee had a lot of swelling in it. That sounds like an ACL, I hope not. I don't know a report, but I hope everything will be okay, and we'll try to find out tonight or at least by tomorrow.
And you will be at home. You'll be at this stadium next Friday night. Do you know who your opponent will be?
No, sir. It should be on the internet by maybe 11, 12, or 1 o'clock. I'll go and call in this standings tonight as soon as everything settles down here, and then you just kind of take your chances, and it all starts over again.
Okay, Coach, again, congratulations. We'll see one of you guys Wednesday night on Headliners, and we'll be here Friday night.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, back to you.
It might take them a week to clean up all the cans.
They really will. And as we look at the stats, they really tell a story. In particular, one key stat, you look down there at the passing, 4 interceptions, 4 turnovers for the Spiders. All of those came after halftime. You see the total yardage fairly even. Concord a little bit better through the air. A.L. Brown a little bit better on the ground. First downs roughly even, but the 4 turnovers, the big difference in this contest. And as Coach Harden mentioned, hope Evar Johnson is okay, and we hope Jamel Jackson is okay, because those are some important cogs to the wheels of both these teams as they get set to go through the playoffs.
Nick Maddox had 140 yards unofficially rushing the ball tonight. Justin Harden with a couple of touchdowns and some big plays near the end. Congratulations to the A.L. Brown Wonders, and also to the Concord Spiders. Look forward to seeing them in the playoffs starting next week. Hope you'll join us Wednesday night for our playoff edition of Headliners at 8 o'clock. For Steve Gant, Woody Kane, and the entire Metro 12 production staff, Randy Whitley saying thanks for being with us.